down to Marilyn Hawes, and she's in a good mood today. I'd better be on my toes. What's gone right?
The sun is shining and the
Uh,
sky is blue, or not a cloud in the sky at the moment. So it's a
oh, there you go.
beautiful English spring day.
There's
And
nothing
I
nicer.
haven't I haven't listened to the news, so that must make me in a good mood, which will soon change because it's Wednesday and it's Prime Minister's question time at 12 o'clock. So my good mood is likely to run out in 2 hours, if not less.
Well, yeah, we're gonna maybe if we get to, we'll talk about
And also,
performance.
finally, our,
Yes.
our death-defying potholes around here are being repaired today. So,
No.
yeah, exactly. I mean, they are horrendous, absolutely horrendous. And you
Well,
can't.
I mean, the latest stats on potholes is that we're leading the world by a multitude of two, and nothing's done. And again, it's stupid bureaucracy that's causing it. And these new machines they've got, I don't know whether you've seen them, but you stand there, if you're one of the ordinary shovel workers, and just watch five or six of you all stand there and watch this machine do everything in a couple of minutes. And it digs up the old gravel, digs up the old pothole, puts the surface on. It is brilliant.
Oh, I haven't seen one of them. Around here,
Yeah.
we're always told that your pothole is graded. So if it's not too bad, it just has gravel in it.
Yeah.
If it's worse than that, then you have the luxury of tarmac. And then it all breaks open again because it's never been done properly in the first place.
Oh, UK's weather doesn't make it easier
No,
than
no, but today there's no
other
excuse.
countries. You've got frost breaking it up, and then you got sunshine.
And
And
also, not being funny, our little lane, which I have spoken about before, was originally just a lane, not even a lane, just, it would have been, I suppose, dirt and gravel at one point for horses to go down. So it's never been two width, it's always been one and a half cars, if you know what I mean. You can't go past, and the bend is very dangerous. And now the white paint for the dividing section of the road has worn off. So people think they've got carte blanche to just bang round the corner at 60 miles an hour. You have to avoid the pothole because if you don't, you're going to lose your tyre, which means you present yourself in the middle of the road. So a guy in a van was obviously not a neighbour, came around far too fast the other day, and this pothole is treacherous. And I was in the middle of the road, had to be, going very slowly. He comes round the bend and opens his window and dishes on me a whole load of profanities
why?
because I was in the middle of the road.
Oh, well,
So I undid my window, gave him similar back. So
oh,
I am a resident here, blah, blah, blah.
yes, the
So,
Empire
you
Strikes
want to
Back.
take me on, pal? You're going to lose.
Oh, 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 oh. But I've got some good news for you now
Oh, go on then.
that you probably know about. One in four immigrants are on benefits. These are
Oh,
facts. We're going to give you lots of facts today, folks.
only one in four.
Only one in four. That takes male, female, and everything. Of course, if you're living or have been living or propose to live in Gorton and Denton, you're in for a surprise. Why? Well, those that voted Green, we find out the greatest ratio was ladies between age 20 and 40. What is that about? Why should they vote Green? Well, it saved the whale, saved the squirrel, whatever. So you think logical, but it's nothing to do with that. Ah, what's it to do with? Well, there's been lots of investigations on this, and open borders are upon us. You've mentioned the weather. You've got 5 days of sunshine, you lucky
Mm,
lot.
mhm.
And so have we, but we're used to that. But having said that, you've got 5 days of mega immigration.
100%. It's all, and of course now Polanski, I really don't understand the Green Party started off all fluffy and looking after the environment and blah blah blah. He now, I saw somewhere the other day, calls himself the Muslim Greens.
Oh, well, the lovely Zach has got some peculiar ideas of open borders, of course. And if you voted for him, good luck to you. Uh, Perhaps you need bigger breasts. He's your man. I mean, you couldn't, I mean, I mentioned this to you last week. I'm going to vote Raving Monster Looney Party next time because
Absolutely.
they've got a manifesto infinitely more sensible than this. Look, going back to the ladies that are voting, apparently, according to the latest stats, you've got a group of young women that are completely dissatisfied with their life.
So there's this joke on Instagram yesterday where there's this fairy princess that is on Dover waiting for the boat to come in, and they come off the ferry or off their rubber boat, and she says, "What would you like while you're here?" So they go, "A banquet," and she goes, "Boom! There's the banquet. What else would you like now you've arrived?" They go, "A mansion house." Boom! What else would you like? We want to be a British citizen. Boom. So then they go, but where's the mansion and the banquet? Well, you're a British citizen now, you get sod all.
Well, yes, in the vernacular we have it. But I tell you what, again, we say many times you couldn't write the script. So therefore, we go to discuss your mate, your best mate, and you think he's wonderful. It's Senor Sadiq Khan, Mayor of London. She's gnashing her teeth already. Well, he's come out with not an admission about the grooming gangs. He couldn't do that, but people on his behalf are saying, why is he saying for years they don't exist in London where they clearly do? And the people in the know are actually saying the police have given him a warning. Don't forget he's in charge of the police, which is a bit strange.
He
But
couldn't be in charge of a children's picnic. He's useless.
well, you'll agree with this later. Going to discuss him on a number of avenues. But certainly, this avenue is that he has been threatened by anybody else, i.e., the police, probably the local authorities and individual MPs. They don't want their complicitness to these rape gangs finding the true light of day. Now, that's not absolving him at all because he's just as guilty as the rest of the mob.
Absolutely, he's totally
But
complicit.
that, with the fright that's being put on him, is interesting. And it's all over the country, Sadiq. You could even say, because of the numbers involved, especially in London, and
Well,
you continually deny it.
Well, of course, especially in London, you've got all the main train lines going out of the capital. You've only got to go. He only needs to take his backside and his stumpy little legs down to Victoria, and he'll see the kids there and all the weirdos. How old are you? I'm 13. Come with me, little boy or little girl. You can see it in your face. And the fact that he read documents and he literally discounted them, the man is complicit. And the reason he's done it is he doesn't want his Islamic cousins wrapped up in this, and they are up to their neck in it, as he is as well. So what have the police threatened him with then?
Yeah, there's a lot of, let's call it the old boys club, but it's on a new basis at the moment because of who's in power. And they have got a nice club that they don't want destroying and revealing what they're doing or not doing. Either is the same. So it's a cabal. And if you want to dig deeper into our friend Sadiq, he's decided he wants to go big time with cars, motoring generally in London, which means the whole place, big area, will be number one, 20 miles an hour. Now, okay, you'd be achieving something if you could get to 20 mile an hour
Well,
in many
exactly.
parts of London.
He can't get much faster than 9.
No, but yeah, average speed of, isn't it? And all right, in the outskirts, you can drive at semi-normal. And there's lots of dual carriageways in London in the outskirts. And if you're driving at 20 mile an hour, you're going to cause an accident.
Well, that's
A,
actually
either
right.
because you're going to fall asleep, or B, some
Yeah,
lunatic
yeah,
comes
yeah.
along driving at
Mm,
the right speed.
mm.
It's a nightmare. But one thing maybe he's got a point. He says He's going to ban SUVs. Now, it's a fashion item, of course, with a lot
Mm.
of people. That's the Range Rover type
Oh
vehicle.
yeah, yeah, the yummy mummy car.
Yeah, that's it. And they're coming from China in mega loads at the moment. They're half the price. And the reason is A, the weight back to potholes from whence we came, and B, they are wider. Now, that is true. He's got that one right. They are considerably wider.
Oh, they
When,
are.
yeah, when you park,
Oh,
you
pff,
take up a bigger area of the road.
exactly. When you park in any supermarket car park, it's so tight that you can't get an ordinary sized car next to it. And also, if they're electric as well, they're going to be at least a ton heavier. So that makes the road surfaces more likely to break up. So I mean, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And all this like, oh, what is it? Net zero and all of that. Well, surely if you're chugging along at 10, 20 miles an hour, you're getting more gunk coming out the exhaust pipe, aren't you?
There's an optimum speed on vehicles, yes, basically, and per mile, certainly, you're doing a lot more damage.
Yeah, yeah.
Which moves us on to Donald Trump. Now, he, behind the scenes, sent his man, Marco Rubio, who speaks the lingo in Cuba, which is Spanish, of course. It looks as though the deal is almost done. When Trump took back Venezuela into a reasonable state, the oil was stopped going to Cuba, which was keeping Cuba afloat. That's been cut off, and they were desperate before. Now the economy has collapsed, and Trump thinks maybe he's right. It's ready to impose a bit of democracy in Cuba and stop them being a pain in the proverbial that they have been for donkey's years.
Yeah.
So there's talks going on linking them to America. It's not a takeover job. It's not like Venezuela. But obviously, America want on their doorstep some security against the Putins of this world.
Yeah,
And this
yeah.
is a good way of getting it. Call it a spin off from Venezuela. It might work out. I mentioned this, but can I also mention that there's a lot of bad press everywhere, and sometimes
Yes.
even on GB News about the Trump man.
Mm.
And like America, 90%, this is not GB News, but 90% of the news is from the Democratic Party, the left. You don't get the true news. And actually, it's tending to spread over the pond to Britain. We're not hearing the whole truth about Trump, whether you
Mm.
think he's good, whether you think he's bad, whether you think he's gone against international law, which doesn't exist. Why don't you listen, Mr. Starmer? Not in that circumstance, it doesn't exist. But whatever your views on Trump are, if you look at 40,000 people being murdered and millions over the years, is it worth a punt? Oh, no, it isn't. Trump's an idiot. Right? Why? Oh, I've heard it on the news. Yeah, well, which news are you watching? And don't forget what Trump said about this BBC job at the moment.
Hmm.
They're not giving the right news. Trump says, you might as well be giving it from the point of view of Iran by listening to the BBC. That is shocking.
I mean, it is. I mean, who know? They all play the same game, don't they? They all go down the propaganda route. So, they're here saying, "Oh, we've almost won," but really, I mean, what I still say. I think somebody asked me the other day, "What did I think?" And I said, "Well, if it was true that there's a nuclear threat and he knew that from his intel, then he was right to do it. But you can't do it. You can't do any of this stuff without you've got an end game. And my thing is, you just keep throwing more stuff at it killing people, bashing buildings to bits and all of that, but it's not actually achieving something. You've got, well, is the end game? Where are negotiations? You've made your point. You've blitzed the nuclear program. You've blitzed the Navy and the Air Force and all of that. You are not going to change a regime without they come to the table. And that has always been my concern from the top. And Richard Dannett, Lord Richard Dannett, he said exactly, or Sir Lord Richard Dannett, I think, said exactly the same thing. War is not pretty. You have to have an end game. At what point? And it's going to be very interesting because he has got to go to Congress, hasn't he? 60 days from starting this war, he has to go to Congress, and Congress will say whether he can keep going or not, which actually I think is quite a good thing. Because otherwise, you could have another Vietnam, you could have another Iraq. It could go on and on and on. The only way that there's going to be a regime change, as long as you've taken out the top people, is from within. The people within that country, even if it's a civil war, have got to sort it out for themselves.
Yeah,
You cannot,
we
you know.
don't yet know whether he's bitten off more than he can chew, but you're right.
But I think that I always think it's a bit like you have the builders in to, oh, we're going to come in and we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And then you get, Madam, I mean, ooh, we didn't expect this to happen. And this is going to be another 10 grand for this. And I think that's like war. And when you're dealing with the Middle East and you're dealing with such a different culture,
Oh,
it's I mean, we cannot stop meddling with it, can we? I mean, you go back, I mean, all our soldiers apparently, before they go to the Middle East, they have to read Lawrence of Arabia and they have to read his life. I mean, he was the starter of this, wasn't he? To sort of get, and it's never going to work. It's never going to work. And it's got to be the Muslim people themselves within Iran, the young people, the people that want freedom. He can release the gates to some extent, but I don't think he can wrap it all up. I really don't. I'd
well,
like
it's
to think he
easy to
could, but
win a war, as they say, but you've got to now win the peace.
that's
And,
absolutely
and,
right.
and
That's
unless
exactly
the
right.
problem is the real people in charge of the place, massive place, big country, and it's full of different districts, and
Yes.
the real police of that place, the army, are already spread amongst from north, south, east, and
Mhm.
west. The population and getting them sorted. They don't want to foot soldier the place, of course. Boots on the ground. That is inviting another Vietnam.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But is it? Not Israel, is it? Who was thinking of doing that? Somebody was going to think about putting boots on the ground.
Oh
Oh,
well, it was Trump with the Kurds, wasn't it?
but
But
yes, that's right.
not enough. Not
That's
enough.
right. But you're in for a really long game once you start doing that. I mean, I agree with what Lord Dannett said that you can take out the nuclear threat, you can destroy his military, and then that's it. Now it's up to you guys. We've removed the real threat where people are just being shot on the streets, but they'll still be shot in the streets because you've got Russia helping them, you've got probably China helping them. Iran is quite corrupt, actually. I mean, it's a beautiful country. It's huge, absolutely huge, and you've got mountains there. People can hide away in, haven't you? I mean, it's. And I always said to my daughter, I always said to her when she lived over there that one day there will be a war, and all the sheikhs or whatever you call it, that are quite westernized, and Sheikh Mohammed is one of them, that really align themselves with the West and women being emancipated and all of that, they are going to have a problem because they are going to be forced, coerced to actually support and stand up with their brethren who are Muslim. And the way he is, and in Bahrain and all of that down that whole straight right round to Oman, they are very welcoming to the West. They have Western values to some extent, and even more so. I mean, I have seen Dubai over the years go from not being able to wear sleeveless t-shirts, fair enough, that's what they do, to anything goes now.
Yes.
Anything goes now. And
Yeah.
he has relaxed it. And I think that, now you're seeing they don't want to stand up. They don't want to stand up, do they? I mean, Oman, Qatar, all of them, they don't want to support Iran.
No.
They don't want to be like that fundamental Islamic, and I don't blame them, but that's why they're going to be attacked.
Well, they've had the good life and they choose that
Exactly, but
way.
it was all. I mean, I don't say anything to my daughter because she won't absolutely. She'll just like. I said to her at the same time when she used to go out to Beirut for weekends and said, "Oh, it's lovely here, Mum. You know, rooftop bars. Oh, it's a beautiful place." I said, "One day it's going to be bombed again." Oh, you're so negative. I'm not. You've seen it over time. I'm so much older than you, Nikki. You see it time and time again. They cannot live in harmony. It's very much
Yeah, yeah,
medieval tribal mentality.
yes, and it's a
It
theocracy.
is,
Don't forget.
absolutely.
Now, saying that, let's dig a little bit deeper, and I'm reminded of the war at the end of the Second World War with Japan.
Yeah, yeah.
What a nation to combat when you've got a type of theocracy there that bred the kamikaze fighters.
Mm,
How do you defend yourself?
mm,
How do you defend yourself? Keeping that blowing up your ship or whatever.
mm.
In those days, you didn't have sophisticated missiles
No,
like we do now. So if one of these guys got it in his head, he's going to have so many virgins or whatever the Japanese equivalent was, then you've got to accept. And that transferred now to Islam. You've got a difficulty there.
mm,
They will think it's wonderful to sacrifice their lives,
yeah,
and they do it every day of the
yeah,
week
yeah.
throughout the world.
I mean, li life is cheap to them, isn't it? You know, it's a worry. I always worry where this is going to go to. Always, as soon as it was going to start, you thought it's the same with Ukraine. I mean, look at that. Excuse me. I mean, is that ever going to end? I see Zelensky was scurrying around the politicians. Was it yesterday, the day before? And there was Starmer giving him a lovely big hug again.
Oh,
So
yeah,
unprofessional.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, look, certainly Trump got Ukraine wrong because he said in a fortnight I'll sort this out. Well, that fortnight is now 4 years, 5 years.
Mm, mm. Yeah,
Now we've got one thing that he may be right on, and that's the UK's inability to do anything at the moment, specifically Sir Keir. And it's refreshing to hear the truth,
yeah.
because this is normally hidden behind civil servants. What's your opinion on that, Prime Minister? Well, you get it from Trump. You don't from anywhere else. It's all in diplomatic language, isn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Yes, it's and you get a two-page, three-page document that actually tells you nothing.
yes,
They have
but
their own language, actually, don't they? Called
it's
avoidance.
yes,
Avoidance.
yes. Well, he's having a go. Trump is quite rightly so. Is it worth? But basically, what he's saying is it worth carrying on with NATO when you've got these dilly dallers
Mm,
like Sir Keir and other members of the EU
mm, mm,
that are not willing to put their
mm, mm,
stamp where it
mm,
should be.
mm.
Their big no. Is it that we've gone so lily-livered in Europe that we've got no moral compass?
Well, I don't think, dare I say this, correct me. I mean, I'm not so sure what NATO actually do.
Well, they're
I'm not
supposed
sure.
to.
I mean, yeah, it's an organization where people have joined them, but they are very much fence sitters, aren't they?
Well, the object of that is that don't attack me, Russia, because all my mates will gang up
Well,
against you.
yeah, but they don't.
But they don't. And America have been paying into this or overpaying for donkey's years.
Mm, mm.
So Trump is right.
Yeah,
Either it's going to
I think he's
exist.
right because when people have been attacked, I mean, what or the threat of it, what have they done? You know, I mean, I've never got my head around it, to be honest. I'm not sure that its existence benefits many people, to be honest.
Well,
I,
if he didn't have it, or this is in the last X amount of years, I think it would have been more difficult. It would have been easier for Putin to get
Oh,
a
that no,
new
no, that
place.
is true. No, that is true
Yeah.
because there is that threat, even if it's a soft threat.
But you can't rely on your friends and neighbours, and it is shameful. But is it because it has revealed the paucity of our armed forces? We
Mm.
can't get a boat together. The French, the Spanish, the Greeks have had to come and help us out.
But
Now that's a bit of NATO. That's the positive side.
yeah, but I think that's why Starmer, rather than admit he's got such a useless navy, not enough ships, that he's dithering, oh, well, no, I'm not getting involved in the war because he can't actually say because we haven't got the ships. I mean, I'd love to have an inventory of what we have actually got. What do
Well,
we
you can
actually
find it. No,
have?
you can find it online. It actually gives you, if you go into your favorite AI, they'll give you pretty pictures of how many minesweepers, how many cruisers, how many destroyers, how
Yeah.
many aircraft carriers, how many submarines. It goes through the whole lot of them. And wow.
Okay,
But there is another thing there. How many are available and that are working correctly? And that's where
exactly.
Britain falls down. If they're all
Exactly.
in dock, which they are, they might as well not be built.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, it's worrying. It's worrying. We can't join the war because we got nothing to shoot with.
Britain rules the waves no longer, mate.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, it was always, we even have cigarettes named after it, didn't we? Senior service,
That's
and
right.
do you remember them?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were real
yeah.
killers, senior service, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I know.
Right, let's have some good news. Um, Bible sales have doubled in the last 7 years. Oh, why's that good news? Well, are we having a mini revival? Is there where the moral compass comes from? Is the church ready for it? Don't think the part of the Anglican Church is ready for it. They're happy to go along with the woke regimes, aren't they? But
Well,
it's mainly the young people. They've tried humanism. They've tried getting on with the world as we see what getting on with the world is. Maybe they've run out of mortgage money and it doesn't work. This great utopia that all the politicians sell
but
us.
you see, I'm very disturbed by Polanski going on about Christianity. That
Oh,
I'm very disturbed about that. And where is I call her the Archbitch of Canterbury?
yeah.
The Archbitch, because yesterday they were voting on abortion and all of that. And what was not yesterday, the day before, and she went out for a walk, a pilgrim's walk, rather than be there making a vote. I mean, she is utterly useless, utterly. And I said again, why aren't the church leaders coming out and absolutely wiping the floor with Polanski? Now, yesterday, because we're not allowed to have St. George, are we? So when it was St. Patrick's Day, I put a thing out on X saying, Zach Polanski, you might like to know, or maybe you probably don't know, that St. Patrick actually brought Christianity to Ireland. So, but we are allowed to fly the green flags and have St. Patrick's Day celebrations. And then we mustn't forget about Scotland with St. Andrew. And then we've got Wales with St. David. I think you're going to have a heck of a job trying to wipe out Christianity. You haven't got a prayer because there's enough of us to actually wipe you out. But where is the Archbishop of Canterbury? Where is the Catholic one? Where are all the other ones to actually stand up and tell him what for? I mean, that's unbelievable. None of them, not one denomination, not one has come
No.
out against it.
But there is a light in the Anglican Church. They've just suddenly decided to U-turn and not accept same-sex marriages
You're right,
because
yeah.
it's not in their Bible. Of course it
Mm.
isn't. So that is a light. The other light, and it's not all light on GB News. They get it wrong as well as getting it right. So do we, so does everybody. But I tell you what they've got right, and that's their reflections, which is a thought for the day. And 90% of the people that appear on there are Anglican grassroots
Ah,
bishops.
mm.
and they bishops, no clergy in general, and they give such a 1 minute talk, and it really is very, very good. And if you can stay awake for a minute, I'm sure you can. That is excellent. So the Church of England, folks, despite all we say, is not dead. Part of it, the grassroots, is alive and well.
Well, why don't those grassroots come out and say something then? Why aren't they challenging Polanski? If you know, forget the bishops. I mean, you know, but I mean, why aren't they? Why aren't they challenging him?
I think they do at local level, but they
Oh,
don't
okay.
certainly do within Synod, because Synod, the governing body of the Anglican Church, they've got one in the Methodist Church as well. They are the ones that have produced our present Archbishop. That is the problem. It's the
Unbelievable.
bureaucracy at the top, like it is in our country with our
Exactly.
civil servants, the same problem.
Exactly. But also, I mean, I read somewhere the other day, and I have a, you know, the king could easily put a stop to this parliament. He could do it. He has the power to effect that
He's got the
change, doesn't
power
he?
to speak against it, but he won't.
Oh, of course he won't, because he's woke. He's another Islam lover. You
He
know,
is.
he's another one. I mean, I mean, the quicker William can get there with a crown on his head, the better, because I don't think he's like it. I really don't. I mean, if otherwise, it's just going to fade away. Truly, it will. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
he's not going to
flaking away.
change. Lepers don't change the spots.
No, they
He's
don't.
always been of this ilk, uh,
Yes.
the tree hugger thing, if you wish. But going back to where we are Christian wise, we've had the pandemic. We've had lots of things. It's like the plagues of Egypt, if you're
Yes.
thinking about
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Now we've got the potential of meningitis,
Oh, yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
focusing minds, especially young people minds.
Mm,
That
mm,
the
mm.
politicians, that shock horror, have not got the answer, certainly for things like that.
Yeah, well, I see. I'm very interested. I had meningitis when I was 19, and I had viral meningitis. Now, it had to go away on its own. I couldn't have antibiotics, but I clearly remember the stiff neck, not being able to move my neck, and I just started a new job. And I was going to meet my sister because she had worked in a different place, and I was going to meet my sister, and this dreadful, dreadful splitting headache. It was horrendous. And behind my eyes, it was awful, right down my spine. By the time I got to my sister's, I was in such a state, a searing fever. And then they took me into hospital, but but it was meningitis. I didn't have the rash. So I think they should push on the fact that it can feel like a very, very bad dose of flu to start with. I never
Yeah.
had the rash,
Or
but
a hangover.
oh yeah, I mean it was a bit the headache. I've never ever worse than migraine. And I'm a migraine sufferer. It was dreadful, and all that. And I had a lumbar puncture thing, and just to check, and it is. You wonder where on earth did it come from? So you think someone in France went to this nightclub and went back to France. Did they bring it with them? Now there's a baby that's got it. How did the baby get? And it is that particular strain is extremely infectious.
It
So you've
is.
only got
It's
to sneeze on
combined. Yeah.
someone,
Yeah.
in a supermarket queue, achoo, and it's going to. And I think I saw five more this morning have got it.
Well, vaping is the other suspicion,
Well, of
isn't it?
course. Yeah, of course. And they were
They were
sharing
sharing.
vapes and
Yeah.
things. Why would you
Mm.
do that? It's gross. Why would you want to share a vape with somebody else's mouth has been round it? And sharing glasses and stuff like that. But where did it first emanate from? Was there someone there? Because it's Kent. A lot of people come over from France, on the ferries. Was it something that they brought in? I mean, we have now for babies, don't we? We have it's in their inoculations meningitis. So did this band of youngsters, I mean, some of them may well have been international, but did those children, I can't remember when youngsters had the meningitis jab, I can't remember whether this generation of youngsters that would be at university would be not in that in that zone time. Do you know what I mean? I'm not sure. But I mean, so desperately sad that those two youngsters died. I mean, it is a killer. It's no two ways about it. It is a killer.
1 in 10, yes,
Yeah. And it can cause serious damage even if you live.
yes.
You know, it's a bit like yeah, no, it is no, it is what that's what my I'm trying to
Well,
think.
it's like long COVID in many ways.
I mean, it is dreadful. It's awful. My ex-husband had it. He had meningitis, and he got it from when he hadn't been looking after himself after he got divorced. So his immune system was low, and he had a cold. He had a perforated eardrum. Didn't go to the doctor, and that within hours he had meningitis, and he also then had vasculitis across the brain. And for 5 years, he was like in a fetal position in a care home, and he was in his 50s. And that was like, it just bang, just like that.
Yeah, tragic. Let's
It's a
get back.
people just don't realize how dangerous it is. Now he got it purely because, and of course I always say anything like your throat, your ears, your migraine, everything is so near the brain that whenever my grandchildren have had ear infections, I say get them to the doctor ASAP. Because if their immune is any way challenged, their immunity, then it can do what happened to granddad. It's awful.
Yes, absolutely. Right, we're sticking with Starmer. Yes, for a little while because, in one sense, how can I put this? I'm losing hope in
Mm.
GB.
Oh yeah.
I love GB, but I've got to that stage, and why? Well, look, we've got what we have at the moment, an awful government. We've never had a government like this, but it was voted for. So in a democracy, you get what you vote for, allegedly. A lot of people, of course, voted for the loony left because they've had the so-called loony. I'm not even going to call her on the right. No, it wasn't. The Conservative governments for many years were a centralist liberal government.
Mm.
They've had that problem, and we've got to have somebody better, the electorate said. Who have we got? Oh, well, somebody promising us this, that, and the other. Change was the word. Yeah, we certainly got change. What we got in the Muslim thing, because it's all very closely linked. There are people now actually saying, what have the Muslims got over Starmer? They represent 6.5% of the vote.
Mm.
You would think it was 60% of the vote because he's fawning after them the whole time. So what's he got over they Muslims, Sir Keir, and his mates because they're up to it with their leader? And I'll give you something that happened very recently in the House of Lords. And I'll read it. And it was Lord Pearson. And he said, is Islam a threat to humanity? 250,000 white British girls have been raped in the last 25 years,
Mm.
over 90% by Muslims,
Yeah,
and we do nothing.
that's
And we
terrible.
avoid it deliberately, whether it's Sadiq Khan or Keir Starmer or all the other horrible people throughout the country of GB that kick the thing into the long grass. Oh, we'll have a think tank about this. We'll have a special committee about the other to see what we can help these girls. It's nothing to do with that. It's avoiding the situation.
Mm.
So why is our dear country doing this? The world is speechless.
Well,
They
it's just
can't
dreadful. I
understand.
mean, but it's against the law. I mean, there was a Muslim guy yesterday who's gone down, I kid you not, for 10 years, right? Which he won't do. You know that, and I know that. And he has done something like 15 heinous rapes and literally pulling out the nails of the young girls who tried to escape from where he had them holed up. I mean, that works out at 2 years per child, right? And he's got it is, and I have literally put it all over Twitter that someone I've contacted Chris Philp, I contacted Rupert Lowe, contacted Robert Jenrick. Someone has to go and in hard, and this is unduly lenient. This is utterly unacceptable, and people don't realize you can do that. That's how I got my guy banged up. You don't need a lawyer. You can do it yourself. But then, of course, you've got Lord Hermer, who's the Attorney General. So there is your sticking block. Because he won't do anything. He will make out that it's so wherever you go, you're wherever you go to try and change something, you are ring fenced into not being able to do it. And that's deliberate. That's not accident. That's deliberate. And where's Jess Phillips? Useless female. Everything that comes out of her mouth is orchestrated. It's a complete, her pauses, her cadences when she says something, and then the tears come. It's a rehearsed, orchestrated speeches that she makes that are completely vapid.
You're right. Jess Phillips is one of a number of people in the cabinet and
Yeah.
outside the cabinet in high positions that are acting and feigning tears sometimes
Oh yes,
to get you on side.
yes.
And they're the meanest of individuals because they're play acting over something that is devastating.
It is absolutely awful. And you think, when I was a little girl, always and still today, you hear people say actions speak louder than words. It's actions. Anyone can come out with a good speech. Anyone can flannel someone and make out that they are decent. The people that stay quieter actually do something, like Rupert Lowe. They're the ones that, you need to listen to. And I think that's interesting as well. He seems to be getting quite a good following now. He is getting a good following, and what he's coming out with is people will say right wing, but you're going to have to do that to rescue GB. It's going to have to take someone like that, but whether he's going to get enough people by the time of the election, but he's got something like 150,000 followers now, hasn't he?
Yeah. Let me and I always been very careful of listening to celebrities. Most of them are really wokies,
Oh, they are.
really ultra left.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And if you look at the Oscars this year,
Oh, don't
I
get me
mean, what a
started.
joke.
Oh, it's
You were
awful.
not allowed in the place unless you conform to a minority.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
No, sooner that goes, the better. But you occasionally get somebody. In this case, it's Basil Fawlty, of all people, John Cleese, made a statement, and a brave statement, I'll tell you, in the present climate this week. And I wonder how many Brits go along with this. I'll read it and then
I
I'll,
follow him on Twitter. He's really good.
yes, and I'll read it. John Cleese has said, and it was with particular relevance to the Islamic act that is going through at the moment. It's gone through. Depends how it's interpreted. It's very, very dangerous to free speech and other things. And this is about Islamophobia. You daren't say anything. We did warn people, and it's now happened. It's not come out yet. Everything, all the nuances haven't not come out, but they will do. He says to criticize a religion is not racist. Oh, it's cultural, he says. Many of us prefer some cultures to other. For example, I prefer a culture that does not permit female genital
Oh,
mutilation.
yes.
It It doesn't permit child marriage. It doesn't permit animal torture, mutilation, and child marriages, and of course, marriages to your cousin. It doesn't advocate total humiliation of women and other beliefs, which Islam does. He finally says, I don't vote for any world domination religion. Call me old fashioned. I don't call him old fashioned. He's
Nor
ahead of
do
the game.
I. Nor do I. Nor do I. Yeah. I think he's sort of like he's a bit like Jeremy Clarkson. He just tells it like it is. And I think those two together would be really good. I mean, they're both uh, outspoken like that, but in a way that isn't offensive. I mean, it's absolutely right. When you look at it, it's not even complicated what you said, is it? It's just laid it out nice and neatly, articulately. And is that what you're going to vote for? And yet still get confused that that is what it says or what it does. And yet there's so many Muslims that would not agree with that. So is Islam different to being a Muslim? Or are you a Muslim but you worship Islam? Or is it so complicated?
I think that recent survey has said it all. And I repeat what we have said and many others that 1 in 3 Muslims 5 years ago wanted a caliphate, in other words, a takeover of the
Yeah.
country, treason.
Mm.
That's the real reason. Now it's appeared that twice as many want that.
But,
So
but
when we used to say it's a tiny minority, the headbangers, it ain't.
no.
It's the majority. And we've got to do something about it,
But
Great
what
Britain.
is anybody going to do? Who is going to do? What is anyone going to do? I
Well,
mean,
certainly Starmer's not going to do
but
anything.
and exactly. But I mean, everyone is all around going. If I go on X a lot, and there's just to read what's there, and the discontent and the anger and the outrage, it's just constant. It's constant, and I keep saying, I take your point, but what and who is going to do something? You can't just keep talking about it. Who's it going to be? Is it possible to do it without ending up in prison? Because he's ring fenced everybody. He's a very cleverly ring fenced people. And people need to see that. I mean, Nigel Farage has gone very quiet lately, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. He's playing a long game. Let's hope it's not too long. Let's hope if and when he gets in power, he will not be gobbled up by the blob, the hierarchy, mandarins and the civil service. It's happened so many times before. Margaret Thatcher was the prime example of not being gobbled up. They tried it
Yeah,
with her,
yeah.
and she wouldn't have any. We need another leader, another Churchill, another Thatcher.
And
We
that's the other
said
thing. Why on earth is Churchill coming off the banknotes? I mean, it's outrageous. He's part of our history. He's our heritage. We wouldn't be free without him.
it's all part of the blob
Yeah,
and
it's
their
disgusting.
intention to make us sad and sorry nation, which we now are,
Oh,
thanks
it is
to
true.
them.
It is true.
And
I cannot see my grandchildren as they grow older living here unless it radically changes back. I can't see it. I
well,
mean, anyway,
we've got to repent of all our sins of the past.
it's
The slavery
ridiculous.
which we abolished. It's madness that
It's
people live.
absolutely ridiculous. Of course, David Lammy's all for paying them out. He's another absolute clown. I mean, he's awful. And yet Maloney over in Italy, she's chucked out another imam, hasn't she? There
Yes,
was giving hate speech. Off you go. Within 24 hours, he was out the country. Why are we doing that? I think I might have to move to Italy actually, because she's actually doing something about it.
soon as you move there, she'll be out of power. You can.
Yeah, well, that's the point, isn't it? That's the whole point. Where in the world, that is the whole point. Where in the world could you or would you go?
Yeah, well, there are places, but let's.
Yeah,
I
well,
said at the beginning of my
the
tirade that
South Pole.
I've given up on Britain. I've been driven to the part that I think there's such a swing now to what is basically Marxism.
Mm.
Can we get back out of it? We keep saying this, and advisedly, it's, and I mentioned, is it like thousands of years ago when the children of Israel, the Jews, dare I say Jews, yes, were in Egypt and Pharaoh would not let them go. So Pharaoh paid the consequences. And then the economy failed in Egypt because the Nile turned red to blood. Then there was locusts, then all sorts of mega things. And Pharaoh said, I'm not interested. I'll do things my own way. Eventually, at the death of the firstborn, he said, wow, can't take any more. Hope it doesn't happen to Britain. Hope we don't have to have another pandemic for people to wake up and realize that we are in a nation that's completely turned its back on God, on
Mm.
anything that's traditional,
Mm. Mm.
conservative,
Mm.
small c. Our background, our culture, our heritage, it's all gone. Of course, it has. Communism,
Oh, it is
Marxism,
absolutely. I
standard.
mean, absolutely. Somebody was saying to me yesterday that all this thing with halal, which is just dreadful, that a lot of supermarkets are selling it now without actually saying that what it is.
Oh, yes, they
A
hide
lot of
it.
chickens. Well, you can understand why people are going vegetarian then.
Yeah, well, yes. I mean, we've got to finish on a couple of items that are not bad news. We'll cheer you up now. Oh, will we? We've got the problem of the Black Sheep roundabout. I don't know whether you come across this. This is in Beverley in Yorkshire. And they've had an artist saying we must create something special on the roundabout. It's right in the middle of Beverley and it's ancient town, rather than just have grass on it.
Wildflowers, why not that?
Well, our roundabouts in Spain are gorgeous. They are full of flowers.
Yeah,
They would last 5 minutes in Britain before some hooligan
yeah, yeah.
decided there's some money there. I'm going to pinch it and get my drug habit. Yes, uh, that's why you don't get them in Britain, except in the very closely guarded Middle England, if you wish. But this is a good idea. It's about the narrative of the nursery rhyme, and it's very appropriate, you would have thought, um, until the committee got going, the local left wing committee.
Oh, God.
Yes, and they discussed it. Let's have a look at the picture. We can't show you it at the moment, but I can describe it. Very tall, actually. And on the top, there's the black sheep, and there's the white sheep roundabout at the bottom. It really is very nice. Why can't we have it? I shall tell you exactly. I'll read it. This could cause emergency services to be confused.
What?
Well, ambulances,
Good Lord.
um, uh, fire engines. It could confuse drivers. It could confuse residents, particularly when verbal or written directions conflict. Now, I suppose they mean by that when you're listening to your sat nav, turn right at Black Sheep. It used to be called the Regiment Roundabout. How boring. Turn right at the Regiment Roundabout. I would have Black Sheep every day. It would potentially lead to hesitation or
What?
unsafe decision making when approaching the roundabout. You know what this is all about? It's all about them knowing more than we do and controlling our lives because they know better.
It's
And if you want a
ridiculous. It's possible.
summation of the United Kingdom at the moment, Black Sheep is it.
Bloody bonkers. I mean, if you're going to get confused about that, you shouldn't be driving. I mean, anyway, up the A1, you've got the Black Cat roundabout. So the Black Cat roundabout's been there for donkey's years.
Yes, exactly that.
So that's just crazy.
What about the Angel of the North to all the drivers?
Exactly. That is a distraction. That is a distraction. People are always amazed how huge it is.
Yes,
and
it is.
it is
Yeah.
huge.
The
How
other thing,
ridiculous. That's, oh my God, I've heard it all, Rodney. I'm going to
yeah,
go one-way ticket to Mars. That's it.
yeah, go for a lie down. Look, can I abolish an old wives' tale? Don't refreeze that meat. It's bad for you. Wrong. It's good for selling another piece of meat at the same supermarket. If you refreeze a joint, let's say you get something out of the deep freeze, and
Yeah,
tomorrow then you have
yeah,
visitors, you decide to go out.
yeah.
Oh, I'll have to throw the meat in. No, no, no. The problem is if you thaw something out and leave it on a countertop overnight, that's when it degrades
Mm.
and gets the nasties in. Then you don't refreeze it because that is dangerous. But if you thaw it out and it's just thawed out and you stick it in the fridge, you can refreeze it and use it on another day. And it
I
goes
thought
on
you could
all the
only,
time in industry when these boats go out fishing.
yes.
They catch the tuna
Yeah, yeah, true.
and they deal with it, then they refreeze it.
I thought you could refreeze it if you'd cooked it.
No, both are apposite.
Oh,
Yes,
interesting.
it's safe doing it that way, but as long as you not let it get any germs in,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it won't, or very little maturity at 4 degrees in your refrigerator,
yeah.
that's fine. You can refreeze it.
Excellent. Well, there we are.
There you go. You sleep tonight after all we discussed there.
Yeah. But on the other hand, the chicken could be halal, and I don't want.
Oh, don't go there. We
All
will,
right then. Oh my word, what a world we're living in.
yes, but it's all right. I'm saying it's all right. And, we still have a deep feeling, even though we've lived most of our lives abroad.
Yeah, and I think
For
I
the
just find I find it also sad. I find it worrying, but fundamentally, I find it sad.
It's sad, it's orchestrated.
Yeah, it
They
is.
know what they're doing.
Yeah, yeah. Peter Blexley was on GB News. I like him. He's very funny. He's very out there. And he said there's parts of Britain you can go to that are still utterly beautiful, but all of the cities are now absolutely ruined.
Yes,
And he's right.
yes.
He's right.
We're going to discuss this
Okay,
on another occasion,
right.
but we've come across plans of getting Islamization within the leafy glades of where you are. They are planning it.
Oh, well, they will
I
do.
won't say any more because it goes deep what they're doing.
Oh.
And on that cheerful
On
note,
that
on
cheerful
that
note, have a
bombshell, as
lovely
they
day. I
say,
think I will stay in my good mood for about another hour before question time, and it's still sunny and it's still bright blue
oh,
skies.
get out there, cut your rose. Oh no, they won't blooms yet.
I've done the pruning. I've done lots of pruning.
Have you? Well, we're still cutting our roses, they go on all
No, oh,
winter
stop it, you.
here. Right, we leave you. See you next week.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Take care. Bye bye.